स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। We were discussing about the purification. Sri Ramakrishna is explaining to Vidyasagar where he has gone to visit a person who has given his all for the welfare of the society. And we see here a Lord of the universe going to a person's house who is not so much interested in the divine, except doing all his ritualistic formalities of the day, and his whole attention is feeling for the welfare of the people who are suffering. What all he could do, what all sacrifices he could do, he is doing. That is attracting God. When anybody sacrifices, the moment any person starts thinking welfare of others, his heart has expanded, his view has expanded. The divine puts his part to share the inner joy of or to impart joy and peace in the heart of the devotee. And without his knowledge, he is claiming his devoteehood. Just by feeling for others, heart is awakened. He feeling for my family and my people always will be there. I am feeling also. I am feeling for others. When I feel for my own people, then I am limited, and my feeling, when it extends to others without differentiation, my heart is expanding. The expansion of the heart includes the depth to which it is going. Feeling heart remains feeling heart alone when we weep for our own people. When we start expanding our heart to include others, then we will see as so it's expanding, it is going to deeper layers. Deeper layers is where the Lord resides, because Lord is presenting himself in and through so many bodies. Each body, the universal consciousness, universal Vishwa Chaitanya is expressing through every body as the Jivatma. And when you love any people or anyone, even one person, without differentiation, without saying mine or yours, then you see that you are entering the depth of your own heart where God resides. It is whether you love all people or love God, it is same. You may not have thought of God, you might not have considered God, but God understands he is my devotee. To make him, draw him to himself, he will slowly gain that understanding. But you see, the main important part we have to remember here is the Lord of universe coming to his doors to see him, to awaken him further to reach the divine. So many discussions, so many ways of representing from the absolute, from the Jnani's point, from the Bhakta's point, whole sadhana, all types of realizations he has already presented. And come to the last part. What is your attitude now? Oh, he says, I will tell you in privacy. Then further what you are doing is excellently good. But if it is done with absolute absence of ego, that I am doer, it will help you to evolve further to realize God. That's what we read yesterday. By these philanthropic activities, you are really doing good to yourself. Here it comes. Trying to change others, help others. I am evolving. How much I will be able to help others, I do not know. Because each person is under the load of karma, karmic load. He is undergoing sukha dukkha, and the past momentum, drive of vasana is pushing him forward into the world. How much will we be able to help him to come out unless we are able to have a control over the vasanas and their karmic load, karma? We won't be able to do much. If I am able to remove his karma, then he will be able to overcome the sukha dukkha, which power God has not given to us. But my compassion, my love, I am slowly evolving ourselves, trying to help others. It's we that evolve. Swamiji Vivekananda is very clear on this point, and Sri Ramakrishna also. But you have to do this for your own evolution. But you should not think that you are doing for your evolution also. If you feel you are doing again, that service becomes a selfish activity, and it will have karmic effect than the spiritual benefits it has to give. You have to feel and serve. That's all the path. And slowly you will see that you are coming out of the karmic cycle. Similarly, we see God is an imagination, because we have not gone beyond the limits of mind just to experience what is Chaitanya. I have to transcend the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya. After I cross the mental barrier and enter into my inner depths, I'll be able to see for the first time in lives after lives I have spent in this world, I'll be able to have a glimpse of what is Chaitanya. There I will come a little understanding of what God really is. Now it is like blind man understanding there is something called light. He has never seen. He can't see. Many times I have told how the blinds feel. I asked one girl who was attending the exam of graduation. She was blind. She was going for exam, and she came to bow down after the exam in the evening. I asked her, how do you write your exam? She said, no, Swamiji, they will read out the questions, I will answer. There will be a writer for us. He will write down what I say. Then I said, Shali, if you don't mind, will you, if I ask some question, will you feel hurt? She said, no, Swamiji, why should I feel hurt? Then I asked her, what do you mean by light? She said, light is a thing by which we see objects. If light is not there, we can't see any object. For seeing object, two things are necessary. One is light, one is eyesight. If eyesight is not there, light is there, we can't see. If eyesight is there and light is not there, then also we can't see. Seeing possible, and I don't have eye, I hear that light is there. Then how clear understanding, but she has never seen light. She doesn't know what is seeing also. Once she gets her eyes, she'll be able to understand what. She doesn't know what. She has heard, and she's repeating it so clearly. She's explaining what is seeing. Seeing needs two things. One is eyes, and I was surprised. She will, she speaks only words, but she doesn't know anything. What is seeing? What people see, that also she doesn't know. The depth, the colors. Then I asked her, what is color? She said red, green, blue, yellow, and Abba, she is not seen any color, but she has heard. She is able to tell all the colors, maroon, this, that, but she tells. And then there was a book, a file was there. I gave it to her. What is this color? She touched the whole thing. She said, you tell, I don't know. This is what God is to us. We speak of God, His form, His formless aspect, all that. It is but mere words. A day comes in our life through ecstatic love, through total dedication, with longing heart, you will transcend one day and enter into a place where you see the Chaitanya. It is within you. You go beyond the limits of mind. The mind is what separates me from God. Chitta vritti viroda. Each constantly vrittis are coming in the mind. When mind becomes absolute tranquil and becomes amanaska, and it is possible when vasanas are destroyed. Go on reducing the acquired tendencies. I have acquired so many tendencies. Go on reducing them, and you'll see one day you have transcended the mind and landed in a new dimension where you'll have the glimpse of God. So, Sri Ramakrishna, for this God, now what we think of God is an imagination only. But God understands that. Oh, He is thinking of me. He is contemplating on me. He is trying to analyze me. And this God created by my own mind, the faith and love that I pour on it, makes me understand what God is. That becomes as if a media for me to go. It's a vehicle I have created to transcend the mind and go. My mind itself has created. And the thought of God that we get, the love that we pour, everything, the form and God that I am thinking of, my idea of God may not be real, but the love that I pour is real. The faith that I have kept is real. This reality makes that God brighter and clear. A real God manifests through that imaginary God which I have created. Man makes a God, and that God makes man a God. Slowly. So this we see here, that by doing, man cannot really help the world. Little behind. By these philanthropic activities, you are really doing good to yourself. If you can do them disinterestedly, means I don't have any personal benefits that I am seeking. Only out of love and compassion I am serving others. Your mind will become pure and you will develop love of God. This is most important part. To love God. Bhagavane Anurag, Jagate Virag. As soon as you have that love, you will realize Him. In the heart, what we always see, in any path we go, it is what ideal is there first originates in the depths of our heart. Now regarding sannyasa and the renunciation part, we see the real sannyasa begins total detachment in the heart. It has seen the world. It has seen every aspect of life and its impermanency. Life is going away without any attainments. All was passing show. Everything was. I passed through almost all life. My childhood is gone, youth days are gone. Everything is going. Now, what is next? Then, what after that? I don't know. So, this seeing the world, experiencing its impermanency, I want permanent happiness. I want eternal bliss, unchanging things, momentary pleasures of life. What shall I do? The detachment, the sense of indifference towards the world, a passionate attachment for God because He is eternal. I am not going to part from Him anytime. Even now, when my lifetime also, He is there with me. When body falls off also, He is with me. That awareness makes the sannyasa bija germinate in the heart. He has not left anything externally. He has not taken the sannyasa vows, but the real sannyasa, the what we call nudity, nudeness. Our soul is always covered with so many things. I am this, I am that, I am that, I have this, I am father, I am mother, I am child, I am this one, I have so many people. All these are covers that we have put on. These covers, they are limiting adjuncts, upadhis we call. We have put on so many upadhis on ourselves. This upadhi, when is removed, I become nude within. My soul becomes nude within, as it is. So this nudity begins in the heart of heart. Sannyasa begins in the core of our heart, and it slowly manifests in the external life. Now, anything coming in front of him is neutral to everything. Any mana, apamana, loss and gains, insults and praises, heat and cold, all this he will be able to see with equanimity without getting affected by them. So this we see that love also for God originates in the depths of our heart. How does it happen? By unselfish services that we offer to God. And that God is standing in front of you as so many suffering beings. As soon as you have that love, you will realize God, realize Him. That is, the love itself makes God manifest in your heart, and you to enter the heart and experience Him directly. Man cannot really help the world. God alone does that. He who has created the sun and the moon, who has put love for their children in parents' hearts, endowed noble souls with compassion, and holy men and devotees with divine love. The man who works for others without any selfish motive really does good to himself. We can't change the world. From millions of years this world is going on. Who is taking care? Who is changing? How the nature is balancing? How people are coming and going? Is nature a small thing? Is the world a small thing that I can manage? I cannot manage my own life. I cannot manage my own family. What good can I do to the world? And only thing that I can is to express my concern, love, and feelings through small actions. With that, God is pleased. and we get the spiritual awakening. Without selfish motive. Really does good to himself. There is gold buried. Now he comes direct. See, we have started long back this Vidyasagar's speaking. Now you see how where it is coming. Sri Ramakrishna is straight away pointing him to the inner treasures that he has. Slowly he is building up from the realized state. We see in Patanjali Yoga Sutras also we see the beginning. It begins with the Samadhi Pada. Then he slowly explains and goes to the next stage of Sadhana Pada. Then how to do the sadhana? What are the realizations that you get? First they explain the prayojana. Why are you doing? What are you going to get? Then the path. Then he comes to the Kaivalya Pada last after the Vibhuti Pada. In Kaivalya Pada you see that the final realizations. That realization is told to indicate the treasure house within you. So that you will enter into the sadhana pada and begin your sadhana. Kaivalya pada is exclusively so you are a realized soul already. You don't know. You are the liberated soul. You are the Atman. You are the Brahman. They clearly explain in the Kaivalya pada what exactly you are. And again leaves it there for you to come back to the sadhana pada and begin your sadhana. Now Sri Ramakrishna is coming to that point. There is gold buried in your heart, but you are not aware of it. It is covered with a thin layer of clay. Thin layer of clay. Why Thakur is telling it is covered with thin layer of clay? Because he is already able to feel for others. Giving up his personal desires, personal comforts, personal enjoyments, giving up. He is trying to serve others in his own way, to the extent it is possible for him. Now, the thing that he is able to serve all others is sign of the thick layer that engulfs the very soul of ignorance. It has become thin layer. In him it was thin layer. In many of the humans, it is thick layer. The treasure is hidden under the hard crust, like a rocky area which you have to penetrate to get the gold inside. Like that, you have to break open, you have to hammer, this is a thin layer of clay. Just a little water you pour, it will wash away. This is why from ancient times, the ideal in different ways of Atmano Mokshartham, Jagadhitaya is held, serving others with love. It is covered with a thin layer of clay. Once you are aware of it, all these activities of yours will lessen. Once you are aware of it, Thakur says, a thief living in a house, the next room, he comes to know treasure is kept. What will be his state? How to enter it? How to get it? He has come to know it is there. Whole his mind, night he is not having sleep. He is just planning how to enter into it, how to open the treasure, how to take it out. Once you are aware of it, all these activities of yours will lessen. Oh, time is passing, life is ending. I know, I have come to know there is treasure. I have not yet attained. How shall I attain it? How shall I do it? After the birth of her child, the daughter-in-law in the family busies herself with it alone. Everything she does is only for the child. Her mother-in-law does not let her do any household duties. Sri Ramakrishna is continuing that old example. When she is on the family way, how the mother-in-law slowly goes on reducing as the months advance of pregnancy. And when the birth is nearing, she totally stops. Oh, just few days left. The child is to take rest, take rest, take rest. And after the child is born, that is, he has come to know that he is able to feel like the child feels the mother in the dark. The child, mother is somewhere, it is weeping, mother is not able to hear, she is asleep, and child will go on touching this and that. Then when it touches mother, immediately it has not seen, it doesn't even know whether it is mother or not. If light is there, he can identify and move. He is moving on his foot and trying to feel. Once he touches the mother, he is confirmed that this is my mother. He has not yet seen. That is the state. Go forward. A woodcutter once entered a forest to gather wood. A brahmachari said to him, go forward. He obeyed the injunction and discovered some sandalwood trees. A poor woodcutter was there. He used to cut wood, carry the wood and sell in the market, make his living. Then a brahmachari very honestly used to do all these his duties, offering that to God. This is the profession you are given. With joy he is to do his all duties. God feels compassionate for him, for his honesty, his striving, his struggling, and offering all the struggle to him. A brahmachari comes and tells. God makes the brahmachari tell, go ahead, go forward, go forward. An important instruction even in our spiritual life, go forward. So this go forward, he goes forward and sees, oh, there are a lot of sandalwood. Now with the same efforts, he is able to earn multiple times than the wood. He obeyed the injunction and discovered some sandalwood trees. After a few days, he reflected, the holy man asked me to go forward. He did not tell me to stop here. So he went forward and found silver mine. He found a silver mine. As you go, how it reaches, how it advances, and how the arrangements are done in such a way, he prospers. So also in spiritual life. He did not tell me to stop here, so he went forward and found silver mine. Imagine his riches multiplying in unimaginable dimensions. After a few days, he went still further, discovered a gold mine, and next mines of diamonds and precious stone. With these, he became immensely rich. See, Thakur is telling the great possibility of his attainment. Means here in spiritual life we see attainment of purity. Going ahead, he sees the spiritual awakening. Then the personal God, form with form, seeing God face to face. Then the impersonal absolute, the total freedom forever from the nature and entering into life eternal. So how the one after the other, God makes the person reach. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.